Double up.
Champion!
Yes, sir. I would say top of the morning to you, but we're no longer in the morning.
What the hell was that this morning, man? We had the entire show.
Oh, man. Stack Nation. Welcome back to the channel, man. You know, we're supposed to do this live show in the morning, and we did. But somebody did not hit the record button or the go live button, man. I apologize for that. I was
man, we were talking to ourselves for 30 minutes straight.
Man, the whole time, bro. Beginner mistakes, man. Amateur mistakes. Not mistakes that I should be making at this point in time.
Oh, jeez.
I was frustrated with myself on that one, man. Because it was a good show, too.
Yeah, it's still good. It was still good.
Yeah.
Monday morning kind of stuff.
Well, you know, you say you live, you learn, and you move on, man. So
yes, sir.
That's the best I can do. Remember to hit the record button next time.
Push the record button, bro.
Obviously, maybe you might be able to imagine or not, but there's only one thing that is on everyone's mind right now. And obviously, that's what we're going to be talking about. Bitcoin. Yeah. It's one of the first things we'll be taking a dive on, looking at where things are. And then, of course, we're going to dive straight into the FTX debacle, if you will. Right? Buffoonery, stupidity, and many other words that we could use to describe that situation. Is it comparable to the Lehman Brothers crash, the .com crash, right? And of course, we're going to take a look at some of the other effects of this FTX contagion. Is blockchain technology going to survive after this situation? And will regulations be heavy-handed after this? Can this be used as a tool to push CBDCs? But of course, we have to start with the king, the god of them all, Bitcoin. Double or what do you have?
I was getting the chat ready, man, while you were saying all of that good stuff.
Take your time, sir. There's no rush. We're live now, so, you know.
Man, it was so good this morning, man. We were just killing it. Anyway.
Absolutely.
It's good to be back. Let's go ahead and look at the charts. Folks, it's still not looking good. It's looking terrible, as a matter of fact. Those are not upside down H's. Those are actual H's. All right? And we know what happens if you're doing a technical analysis and you see those H's. H's continue to make other H's, and it keeps going down. At the current moment, this is on the 1 minute chart. So you know what? Let's just get out of the 1 minute chart. Let's look at the daily chart. And let's zoom in on that, baby, and see what's going on here. And this yellow lines that you see there, those are the lines that we drew this morning. Oh, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Not looking good. But there's something to be said about this doji dragonfly candle that we have here. If it closes with a doji and a dragonfly, this pattern might, converge and switch and go the other direction. We also have the Ichu, whatever you call it, pattern here. They're already margin here. Maybe the green could just flip and keep going up or keep going down. Who knows? This is all technical analysis, But I could say, though, looking at these charts, Bitcoin has come a far way down. A far way down. We were cracking a funny joke about this morning, man. Are we going to the graveyard or are we staying alive? Double top. We told folks back then that, man, this thing is not going to 100K. They were like, no, it's going for 100K. Well, guess what? It did not. So now, what is the prediction? Is it going to keep going down? Well, we have FTX drama in our hands, and we don't think it's going to be over this week, or maybe even next week. There's rumors about crypto.com, which we're going to even talk about in another video. We talked about USDT, which we're going to also talk about. So things are looking really bad right now. But the current pattern that we have right now is a descending triangle coming from an H. And if we break this yellow line, we are definitely going to be seeing 13,000. And if we break the orange line, we are definitely going to be going to the 1.618 Fibonacci level, which is 11,900, almost $12,000. So at the current moment, look at that. The RSI is even pointing downwards. Hey, Binance said he has the money to rescue the space. We're like, man, this might be actually good for the industry. We need to wipe out all over leverage fake coins out there, man. But at the moment, we have a Dragonfly Doji, which could just possibly change the patterns.
Yeah, I think that it is good for some of these altcoins to die. We need to put the scam to bed, man. There's too many of them. One thing, people have to think about how much hacking has gone on in the crypto space in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? How much money people have continuously lost from hacks and so on and so forth. Yeah. However, people continue to invest in these things. And it sucks because I don't want to be telling people sorry in the future when they lose their money. Mm-hmm. So at the same time, maybe it's not on us to go out and, try to shut down everyone who is a scammer. But the fact of the matter is, it is not good for anyone. It's not good for the space when we have shenanigans like what Bankman Fraud and his crew were doing. And apparently this thing runs very deep. As more investigation is being done, there's a lot more that is being found out about this FTX people.
Yeah.
You were going to say something?
I thought, what do you expect when you hire a bunch of bankers?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Bankers will do what bankers do. However, I think it's also good to point out, right? It's also important to point out that despite all of this happening, one thing that we have to pay attention to, Bitcoin itself, right? I think it's still doing all right. As we can see, one of the main things and one of the biggest things that Bitcoin is trying to solve is this money problem. Having custody of your own money. If we look at some on-chain data here, we'll see that the exchange reserves, right, seem to be dropping, right, when put against Bitcoin. Generally, when exchange reserves are dropping, is because people are transferring their money out of the exchanges. So overall, there is a net positive for outflows from the exchanges, which means people are moving their coins to, self-custody them and so on and so forth to avoid part of this contagion. This other chart here is your Bitcoin exchange outflow, and this is for all exchanges. We can see that ever since November 7th, right, which is really when this thing started to, within this time frame, when this whole FTX thing started to happen, we can see a massive spike. I think there was an estimation of $3 billion worth of Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's 3.7 as of this afternoon.
See, there we go. So we see there's a rise there in the net outflows from exchanges. I think that this is a positive thing. I would imagine
for
that
Bitcoin. Yes.
Yeah, it's a positive thing for Bitcoin.
Yes.
100%.
That is what the technology is intended to do.
Yeah. Personally, I've received, phone call from one or two people, like the chick in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Who was wondering what is going on and wants to move all of her coins from exchanges now. In fact, she called me because she needed help with completing her KYC on Robinhood, which is a horrible place to buy anything. But we got her Bitcoins off Robinhood. Just needed to help her set up an authenticator or something like that. Now, here's the interesting thing: as this whole thing is happening, right? Let's look at some of the effects of this contagion. And would you say you compare this to the .com bust?
Yeah. So I was graduating undergrad when this whole .com thing happened. I luckily had a government job, contracting job during the 2008 crash. So that one didn't impact me too badly. But this is the Lehman Brothers Enron of crypto space. Given the size, I think it's even bigger in terms of in terms of 2008, the entire stock market and the entire banking system about to shut down, but the industry itself, the impact. And then when you look at the impact of this crash, given the extent of how much the web, the fingers FTX have touched the entire industry, or even other industries, it's major. It's kind of like almost the .com crash all over again, because I could not get a job back then. And if you look at things now, Facebook is laying people off, Google, Amazon, everybody else is laying people off. I mean,
I know. I saw the one article you sent me there from Nairametrics. Some crypto countries, some crypto companies in Nigeria are also laying people off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
So
because they put customers' money in FTX, and some
Right.
of them were funded by FTX.
Well,
Yeah.
as you know, the whole FTX thing was like a circle of buffoonery, buying their own tokens and so on and so forth. In fact, at the point where they even announced their, I guess, their target price, their leverage target price on Twitter, right? When they said they will buy all the coins back for $22, I think that sent the message to anyone who wanted to drive that price down that, hey, we just need to knock it down below $22. So
Yep.
what is also interesting is, as you can see, FTX turns out to be connected to a bunch of different companies. And we'll be doing another video about this.
Video about that, yes, definitely
Right.
check that out. Yep.
And it seems that even though we've already seen this crash, right, there's a lot more to come. Do you think this is going to be kind of a thing where there's going to be a massive sell-off? Or how do you think this plays out moving forward as far as the crash coming up? I mean, BlackRock, for Christ's sake, was in there.
Yeah, I think there's the price of Bitcoin,
Yes.
and there is the adoption and the technology of Bitcoin. So that's what we are here to do, really, at the end of the day, is to get the education out that there's this one technology that allows you to store your value. Unfortunately, 2 years ago, for some reason, there was this huge market influencer, or could be a strategy by the banks, that people just thought that Bitcoin was a product of gambling or exchanges and up and down prices. It's supposed to be store of value and supposed to retain value over time. And people were just literally trading it like they're trading equities or securities.
Exactly.
And
People
people didn't
with
get that in
emotions.
it, and they put it on the exchange, and exchange keeps getting hacked, and all this other stuff that keeps happening. And we find out that exchange are playing Ponzi schemes with your money, using your money to invest in other products. So yes, if other news comes out that this impact is major, of course BlackRock put money in there. All these big investment funds put money in there. They've trusted this guy. Again, investors invest in people that they know. Would they have invested that kind of money in us? I don't know. But that said, yes, we're going to see some pressure. We just looked at the charts. The chart, it's basically a visual representation of the psychological mindset of people out there. So if you're out there, you don't understand the technology, of course you're going to sell. But those that understand the technology are going to hold on to it. Unfortunately, the price, everybody wants a good price, but you know how that goes.
Might not work out.
Yeah.
Well, before we move on here, I'm going to ask you this. When all of this goes down, let's say we see maximum contagion, absolute destruction in the whole space. If you could say, and I guess I'm playing devil's advocate here, but if you could pick one altcoin, not Bitcoin is going to, if you could pick one altcoin where you're like, you know what, I think this coin is going to survive.
Can I pick two?
No, just one.
Good one. Twitter. I like all the action on Twitter right now. I think Twitter is the future of media. So with what Twitter is doing, it's going to be literally up to Elon Musk to go heavy with Dogecoin, because Dogecoin has a Doge chain, its own blockchain now, which is no longer on the Ethereum blockchain, and it's also proof of work. It's not proof of stake, so you're not just printing coins anyhow. I'll pick Dogecoin over Shiba, even though Crypto.com has 20%.
Hey man, listen, KuCoin is a beast. Listen, people do not understand, man. KuCoin is a beast. That is the one exchange where I'm just like, you know what? Despite everything happening, man, I don't have anything to say about KuCoin, because
Actually, it was
KuCoin doesn't have
Crypto.com that
anything to
has
say to
20.
anyone.
Crypto.com has 20% Bitcoin, 20% Shiba Inu. I'm not sure how much.
Crypto.com has 20%.
Yeah, but
Oh,
KuCoin
okay,
also
yeah,
has a
KuCoin,
lot
yeah.
of Shiba Inu too.
I mean, KuCoin has some, but it's not. I don't think it was 20%. They had.
Yeah,
they had a
it
good
wasn't.
amount
Yeah,
of USDT.
yeah.
They had I think Bitcoin was the most that they had.
Yeah, 30 something percent, 37%,
Yeah.
something like that.
So, hey, it is what it is. And of course, there's a whole talk about Tether. But, I think when it comes to Tether, there is it seems there is multiple versions of Tether. There's the one on BNB and ERC20 and whatever else. And it's something that I'm still trying to put together in my mind. But I think that is something that is good to pay close attention to it just in case. But I will hope that they were not stupid enough, because Tether has been there. It was the first stable coin.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been around for a while.
So, yeah, I kind of look at them comparable to Binance. So for them to go down, I think that they would have to do something extremely, extremely stupid, which we cannot put it past anyone in the crypto space at this point.
At this moment, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So now the next thing that might come out from this is also regulations, right? The heavy-handed regulations. Where do you see this going? Because I can see the BIS right now is just salivating, waiting to just, write a whole PDF. They seem to love the PDFs. What do you think? How do you think this goes from here?
Bro, if I tell you that all the tourist space that I've been on in the past 2-3 days,
Yeah.
because literally it's been non-stop, hours and hours and hours, to the point that people were even getting cancelled for running them out, trying to connect the dot of what's going on with FTX, right? It's going to come every. I don't want to be the one spreading rumors, but this, how can Mr. Wonderful, Mr. the greatest, I can find great businesses and he got screwed up. Oh, by the way, we should have known this. If Jim Cramer had him on the show talking about this is the next big thing, we should have known this was going to fail. Everybody was in it.
Oh, Jim Cramer had FTX on the show?
Yeah, I talked about FTX, talking about, Coinbase, and then, psh. Anyway, long story short, FTX and the guys in the suits were working with regulators before all of this happened.
Yeah.
Now, would the regulators listen to us, or would they still want to listen to the guys in the suits that screwed up everybody? Because again, 2008, guys in the suits. .com, guys in the suits. FTX crash, guys in the suits. But they get the money from these guys to shut up, to do whatever they want them to do.
Yeah.
So they might come back and say, hey, we want to protect investors. So the purpose of investing in investors, I've been saying, are you an accredited investors? If not, you can't do DeFi.
Well, when it comes to guys in the suits, I think that there's also another angle that is interesting to look at. BlackRock is involved in this thing. FTX is clearly going to go to hell. Okay, it's going to crash and burn. But you also have, when you have people like BlackRock who are in this space, at the end of the day, these people print money. So you could also look at it as, could this be a play or a strategy where you have the traditional finance, right, or the guys in suits, as we will say, joining the group or joining the crypto space in order to destroy them from within?
They're already doing that right now. I mean, look, the FTX entire team were already ex-bankers. I mean, come on. You've got a bunch of kids, number one, not mature enough. Your head of regulations, all those guys and it's happening time and time over and time. No matter what, bro.
Yeah.
I think it's a strategy, and the crypto community needs to wake up and find out and realize this.
But that's the interesting thing about it, man. The crypto communities, they're busy right now, man. I don't think they can come to the phone. They're busy getting rock pulled. They're busy getting wrecked by, false promises, if you will, right? Because when they see money, everyone, the eyes kind of go big. So how do you convince people of this? A lot of people are losing money in this situation. And like I said in the early recording, which never showed, I don't want to necessarily say to people that I told you so or laugh at people for losing money. However, I cannot say that I will feel sorry for people, because people need to learn. And this is what our channel is all about, right? Trying to get people to learn, because if people kind of understand some of the things that we talk about on this show based on our own research in the space, you will see that even for us, our approach to the crypto space is not the same from when we started, right? And there's a reason for that. And we're seeing that play out. Here's the thing. And I know, yes, despite that, you're still holding some other coins that you believe in for your own reasons, right? And based on your own research.
Technology, blockchains and so whatever. Yep.
Right. No, whatever the reason is, right?
Yep.
It is based on what you believe. Even then, right, we stopped doing things like the yield farming and other, because you have to think about it. If we were still heavily interacting with this crypto space like we were in the beginning,
yield farming, yeah,
it would be much worse.
You would have said, yeah, you made a lot of money, but you would have lost more money than you made, and you'll have lost all your money.
You would have
more.
lost all of it, and you cannot take it. You cannot even withdraw it. So it's.
Can we tell people about this real quick? When we first got started, we were in all bunch of Sunday swap, name it, kind of DeFi.
We were swapping and
we were swapping in and out, yield farming, putting money in there, making that money every day.
Yeah. Dude, we were in all of it. It was just insane.
We were in the middle of the swamp.
Yeah.
About to get swapped out.
How did we avoid all of that?
Funny enough, we stopped right before the crash too.
Exactly.
And I think one of the lessons learned.
Is that? Yeah, we stopped a little bit before the crash. Actually, it was quite a good. Because I would say like a couple months, maybe 3 to 4 months before the crash started happening.
August, September-ish, before October started rolling in.
Exactly. So, and that's what it's all about, man. Understanding the space, continuously learning, informing yourself, right? And in our case, trying to inform others on what is happening as well. And we take action to avoid that. And that's why I think that for us, the impact of this thing is not as horrible as it could be. Right? Yeah. In my case, I'm holding Bitcoin and I'm still down massively, but that's fine with me, because the same way as you see whatever vision or whatever reasons that you hold any coins you hold, right? That is, you have to be able to ride with that and back what your research, right, or the information that you have on that coin is all the way to the end. But that's all I have on that. Other than this, I think that this is a good tool to push CBDCs, unfortunately, because we know that they're on a mission for that.
Yeah. I think it's the next good follow-on. Like, you can trust this. It's controlled by the government. It's FDIC insured. But I was going to say one thing though. I think one of the lessons learned from FTX is that during a market crash, and you're trying to avoid, because you're always thinking of your money needs to be projecting upwards. Bonds markets are gonna eventually crash. Stock market is crashing. You're trying to do crypto is crashing. Sometimes it's just better to just stay stable, and just hold. But then you try to stay stable with UST and Terra crash, which I lost money into because I thought I could just stay stable in a stable coin instead of putting my money in the bank. But then you find out that stable coin was faulty as well. So, which is exactly why Bitcoin was created. How do we create a system where that third-party influence, that greed, that human factor can be removed?
Bitcoin.
Yeah,
absolutely. I agree with you on that one. I think.
But now, Bitcoin is under attack. So.
Yeah, but I think Bitcoin will survive. I don't think it's too horrible if Bitcoin makes it to 11K. I mean, geez, man, don't you wish you bought Bitcoin at 5K?
I should be buying more. Yep.
When Bitcoin was at 63K, don't you wish you bought it at 11K? This is an opportunity that maybe none of us saw coming. And I think that this is one of those moments. While everyone is capitulating, feeling stressed, right, and down, I think this is those moments that make the difference between those who make it massively from investing in Bitcoin and things like that, and those who will always just be in a regret mode forever.
Yep. For sure.
Any final thoughts, sir, before we close this one out?
As always, like, subscribe, follow us on the social centralized platforms. STAKK on YouTube, STAKK on Twitter, STAKK on Facebook, STAKK on Instagram. Of course, Spotify. And you have comments, man. Come join us, man. We would like to have a conversation with you on the show.
Absolutely. Love it. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay sharp, buy Bitcoin, present out.
Double O. Out.